He's shooting pictures with a Kodak digital camera, and the 850.
How do you get listed with the search engine? So somebody going to
They have, right, they when you know where you're at, right, and you want to let them know where you are, it's kind of like calling the phone company and saying, hey, I want to list the telephone number. Only you would type in and you would find Yahoo for one way or another. You would go to their home page, and then it says list URL. So in other words, you're going to list and you go and you fill out their form. And in about 3 or 4 days, you should be registered. And it's free.
Right. You do it with you do it with Excite and do it.
Yeah. And by the way,
you don't really have to register with every page. Say, for example,
you might know.
Yeah, this is kind of something I'm sort of specialized in because I work with this all the time. Different search engines have different ways that they look for things, and I do a lot of workshops about this in libraries. The search engines have these things called spiders. They go out all over the internet all day, and they just look for words. They look for my last name, N-O-R-K. It's kind of a weird last name, so they're going to find my last name. And they gather this information, and they create a huge index. And then when you search the search engine, you're searching their index. When you hit something in their index, there's a link and it connects you to that page. Now sometimes when you go to connect, it'll say 404 not found. This link is dissolved, this link has disappeared. But like for me, you can find, I'm not registered with AltaVista, but AltaVista is a pretty deep search engine. And it'll find me even though I've never registered with them. Keith writes at the bottom of some of the search engines, it will say add your URL.
Because I haven't been able to, we've been hit through, the guys down in Washington, D.C. helped us out and stuck us on their home page, at least my America Online address. And that's helped us out over the last year while I was trying to get this website up. And I don't do programming. Okay, I leave that up to somebody else who loves our band, which is very cool. All right, so it's more or less work for free, but there's no possible way you can know everything. If you've got people who like your band, send out on your mailer card. I wrote to our whole mailing base, which is now about 500. I said, who in the hell can write HTML? Because I don't want to deal with this. Next thing I knew, our trombone player's brother said, I'm in the business, let me help you out, you're up for free. So we advertised his business in designing web pages, and we're on for free. And it's not like a super sophisticated web page though. It's got some pretty cool stuff going on. We've got some good pictures, and we update it. It's got a schedule. It's got tunes. It functions well for us, but it's free. We're like bottom bones operation. We have no extra money to spare.
Right, but you look just as good as a lot of other people. And the thing that's cool is that you're on a level with people. It's like a stratosphere. It's like once you stick your head up above the clouds, it's like, hey, my head is like up above and everybody else is below me. So, you're on a certain level. Like Keith mentioned with the Chameleon wanting to have links for all the bands that are playing there. That's a way to get yourself in there. Granted, Rich is tough to deal with to get through to, but at least you can
be a businessman.
If he asks you, hey, you guys have a homepage, and you say no, then he's maybe going to blow you off. Not that he's going to hire you if you suck just because you have a homepage.
But it's just
it's another thing.
It's another step in the right.
You'll have to be able to play. It has very direct music, but this is a way that kind of helps to level out the playing field a little bit. It makes you look as good as just about anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. You guys have any? I know we're at 4 o'clock. We can field some more questions, and I'll show you how this digital camera works. This thing called a Snappy is only $200, and if you've got a VCR, you can really mess with a lot of stuff. All right. I'll even.
Did you want to try Connect again?
I don't know what's going on. I'm not even going to worry about it. AOR is probably not even going to work today or something.
What did I say about AOL being like Budweiser?
Well,
of course, you know what? Sponsors here. Not that I'm making any.
Hey, you know what? I tell you.
Hey, thank you.
Oh yeah.
We got to go to the DJ.
Okay. Yeah. We're on at 12 tonight, by the way. 12. All right, go ahead. All right. Hey, I'll show you. Oh, by the way, the reason I haven't dropped America Online, you have to be careful. When you change your web address, okay, if everybody who's lengthy doesn't change with you, you're in Ireland. You're cut off. So one of the reasons I left my, you know, as stupid as America Online is, I started with them. It's not like a telephone company who's going to forward the telephone calls to you. That's not going to happen. So I cut America Online back to my email address. And by the way, America Online, you got to figure, even if you're in for them for $5, that's 7 million people, right? So I mean, there are times early on I used to go when I knew we were going to State College. I'd go into America Online and I'd say, check the personal directory, and I'd say, find me everybody who has music in the description of their personality. And then one step further, reggae or ska. And I sent out digital flyers to those people that we were coming to the town. People I didn't know, but they had written something about themselves. It didn't work real good, but I was screwing around with it anyway. A lot of people don't put that personal information out, you know. But I found some people, and some people would reply. I said, you know, it took a little bit of time, but I just wanted to dabble with it a little bit because we don't have a mailing base in State College. When we were going up to the Crowbar, we don't know anybody up there. I mean, I know some students, but I was thinking, why not? Right? If you're going down to Washington, D.C. and it's your first night in town, you might as well just, if you're on America Online, go ahead and find out, you know, who's got a description, you know, in their personality that has anything to do with what you might be doing down there. It might even be the favorite place that they go to parties, and for some reason, or type in a name and type in party and find out who are the fun people who are out of control, you know what I mean? And I don't know. And I sent out some bizarre letters too. I mean, I even just went and just like, I think I typed in some things where even if they were just a musician, a horn player, I said that we were a ska band, and if you haven't heard about the ska movement, then go ahead and read, you know, this document at this location. And I can, you know, I cut and paste that. I didn't have to type it every time. See what I'm saying? It wasn't like a ton of work. But I foresee, and this is just a hunch of mine, telemarketing happening on the internet. Like, if I could pay 5 people to search out everybody out there who has anything to do with ska and get my CD to me, you see what I'm saying? Now, the news group is already doing that. And the news groups, I don't know whether you know about news groups, but there's a news group that I'm a member of called Alternative Alt Music Ska. And I gathered the conversations from that. And I just started like 2 or 3 days ago, and I don't know why I haven't been run over. It's an interesting place to go see what's happening depending on how, I don't know where you guys and girls are in your niche in the market. Are you this type of band? All I know is I've got a little niche and I go out and I search it out. If I go to the bio page and I go to say, I open up our bio, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to insert. You guys know how to insert clip art, right? Right? That's no big deal. I don't have to show you how to bring in a picture. With what's left, I mean, I'll show you how the camera works if you want. Anybody? Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay.
Yeah, you can, as you're searching around, when you're going into a town like DC, it's got the digital DC. Besides the city paper, there's actually a city web.
Yeah.
And there's listings for every kind of music imaginable in there, and all the clubs have just not so much. I mean, you have links to the web pages, but it's also just a schedule, a 9:30 punch in the schedule.
Right.
And then everybody comments about shows.
Right.
Or come in or go on or whatever.
It makes me want to quit my day job, sit there and try and figure this whole thing out. It's really wild. I can see all sorts of marketing angles if I just had enough time.
Direct and specific like marketing. It's like I go and searching on university web pages and getting reference to a link to all the fraternity web pages. You go to their web page, find a social chairman and send him an email saying I got 8 bands.
So you're thinking exactly the way to do this. And as the newspapers get their shit together, which by the way, the Patriot News and Sentinel, man, they are Even Lebanon has a webpage, you can send them press releases. I mean, why can't I send my band schedule to the person who puts it in the Harrisburg Patriot News? They don't have a website yet. It's like, oh my God, you guys, get it together. Or even to send them the press releases without, I don't want to bug Jennifer Danner. If it's something cool, she should just be able to kind of look at it and not trace down a piece of paper or whatever. Beachcomber magazine, we're down at Rehoboth Beach not this weekend, but the following weekend, on the 22nd, okay, Saturday night, a place called Sir Guy's. Beachcomber is looking at our webpage and pulling stuff off the webpage right now, and they're pulling together their feature article on the band. And I'm gonna FedEx them a black and white, like on Monday, and get it to them as soon as possible. I tried to get in touch with a bunch of papers up at Penn State when we were up there just about a week or two ago at the Crowbar with a band called Fighting Gravity, and can't find papers up there real easily. I struggled a lot. But as all this stuff starts to happen, like last night we did a gig at Grand Saloons in York, and there's a girl reporter from the York paper who I have been emailing, because we're headed down there, and now she's going to start coming. She should be at the next show. She couldn't make it last night. But again, it was another contact that I'm able to do through writing one sentence to their page, and I have no idea whether their paper is laid out any particular way, or I don't even know who reads it. But I'm looking at both York papers in the morning and the evening, and I'll try and get them on the band. We seem to be playing York a lot lately. So,
we should probably wrap up, Chief. Just thank everybody for coming. I'm Bill North with Keith Barnes, and if anyone has any other questions, just come up and talk to us.
yep, I'm going to run this camera.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your questions and input.